Alright guys, we'll get started here in just a moment or two for this Total OS News Night. I had a late minute change of plans for this evening, so I have some free time. So we'll delve into a few topics briefly, and if anybody jumps into the chat, you can say hello. How does that sound? Alright, let's take a look here, see what we have. Alright, looks like we're in the green on the stream here. Very good. Okay, so for those of you who watch this podcast later, these are the topics, just a brief list here of what we'll talk about for this evening that's on my mind anyway. We'll talk a little bit about American cars, Windows 11, iPhone versus Google and Samsung support, Linux Mint, and the latest news from the movie Alien Romulus. It's been a while since we had an Alien movie. We had a Predator movie a couple years ago called Prey, P-R-E-Y, Prey, that was absolutely superb, A+, surprisingly. And I think they're making another one, well deserved. All right, so let me get a sip of wine here. We'll get started. All right, American cars. If you haven't already, take a look at the video I did. I think it's a couple years now about should you buy a Lexus with 200,000 miles versus anything else? And the answer is, well, watch the video and you'll see. Back in around 2008, 2009, maybe 2010, but I think it was 2009, GM had filed bankruptcy, I believe, and they were asking for a bailout from the American taxpayer. And at the time, the CEO of GM issued a public statement saying that they needed help to continue and that they apologized for misleading the public, basically admitting that they built, I hate to say it, they built basically junk. Anyway, we bailed them out, them and Chrysler, if I recall correctly. And has anything changed? Well, I have three different friends, each have an American car. Let's see, one car, 30-some thousand miles, engine problems. Not sure what it is yet. Another car, also 30,000 plus miles, blown engine, had to replace the engine, of course not under warranty. Another car, all GM cars by the way, 40-some thousand miles, engine problems. My friend gave the keys back to the bank and said, here, you can have the car, and has long since moved on. So has anything changed? Not from my end, but you guys tell me. My son's Lexus, which we were hoping to keep past 250,000 miles, still runs superb. Absolutely stunning piece of work. The car, however, got vandalized twice in a week. We don't have full coverage on it. It's going to cost thousands to fix. We're not going to mess with it. We'll just trade it in as is because it still runs good. It's still a reliable car. So for that particular vehicle, the road to 250,000 miles was cut short by, I'll just say it, cut short by assholes. Thank you very much. All right. All right, let's see here. Next topic, Windows 11. God, I hate American cars. Sorry. Next topic, Windows 11. All right. Some of you may have seen in the news that there's a new Copilot feature. It's called Windows Recall that takes random snapshots of your activities on your computer, like snapshots of everything. Not a good idea. This is coming up at the next build of Windows 11, I believe, or newer computers. I believe the feature is turned on by default. Let's just say for what it is, extremely stupid. Not sure why anybody would want to do that. Maybe there's some reasons. That feature should not be in there at all, in my opinion. And if it gets in there, you should disable that feature, the Windows 11 recall feature. It's just, up until now I had high praise for Windows 11. Superb piece of technology. Works great on older machines, easy to use, reliable. But this is just stupid having this recall feature. I'll just call it for what it is. So be aware of that. All right, what's on the list here next? iPhone versus Google and Samsung support. I believe Apple officially has stated that iPhones will be officially supported for 5 years of security updates. Google phones and Samsung phones will be officially supported, I believe, 7 years of security updates. I'm guessing most people probably get rid of their phones within 5 years. I'm guessing not that much of a difference. Just be aware, if you want the longest security support, it's not going to be an iPhone. And by the way, speaking of Android and Google, if you buy a Chromebook, a newer Chromebook, you will get at least 10 years of support, which I believe is the best out there as far as I could tell, so just bear that in mind. All right, another sip of wine here. 2 more topics, then I'll jump into the chat. Linux Mint. Monthly blog, they are saying unverified Flatpaks are disabled by default. Now that I agree with. If you haven't already, if you're looking for an alternative to Windows, Linux Mint is on my top 3 list, right up there with Zorin OS and Chromebooks. Chromebooks probably should be your first choice if you don't have time or don't want to tinker with installing anything and maybe trying to fix something that doesn't quite work. But that being said, Linux Mint, superb operating system, really for the last, well, they've been around since 2008. It just got progressively better. So yeah, check out Linux Mint if you haven't already. Very easy to use, and so is Zorin OS, by the way. All right, the last topic here, Alien Romulus. The last 2 Alien movies just, they were okay, I guess, just not that good. I think the last really good Alien movie I enjoyed was Alien vs. Predator. Has it been 20 years already? That I thought was good. So the new trailer for Alien Romulus looks terrific. Looks very good. It looks creepy the way it should be. So if you haven't already, take a look at the trailer for the new Alien Romulus that's coming out here in about a month or 2, at least here in the States. Looking forward to that one. Alien Romulus. So check it out. All right, give me a second here and we will dive into the chat. Hopefully there's somebody there. I should have put a little bit of 7-Up in the wine, but maybe next time. All right, let me refresh the chat here. By the way, if you hear the background music, it's from my dad. Thank you, Dad. Love you. If you guys would like to donate to the channel, you can check out the links below in the show notes. And thank you for all of you who contribute to the channel. By the way, I post some of these as podcast downloads on the Patreon channel with no ads as a thank you. Steve is in the house. Good evening. You love your GMC Denali? Well, great. Yeah, there are a few cars out there that can last, but man, they're just as a whole, I just don't trust them. But I'm glad yours is okay. Apple has built-in obsolescence. I suppose anything in life is eventually obsolete, but I don't really use any Apple products personally. I'm guessing 5 years is probably enough, like I said, for most people, but the longer the better. That's why Google Chromebooks for 10 years are superb. I hope I say this right. Xionokona. Hi. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. It's unfortunate how badly Linux breaks when you remove all the app container daemons and other stuff. Understandable. For the most part, I've had very good luck with specific Linux systems, and I dare say specific. I must say specific. Out of the 600 possible choices to download, maybe 10 are really good, maybe if that. But like I said, for Windows users who don't want to use Windows anymore, your 3 choices should be, if you don't want to install anything, Chromebooks is number 1. Then from there, we'll try Linux Mint and Zorin OS. I've proven that over and over again. Those three are just superb. And Chromebook's getting 10 years of support. Even for a $200 model, ain't freaking bad. It's nice to see a distro which only uses app and doesn't have Flatpak Snap. Yeah, those are choices. You don't have to use, those types of software packages. Hello, Rossi. Can Linux GUI be installed dual boot on Chromebook Plus? I've never done it personally. You probably can. You can install Linux apps through the terminal. I believe it's Debian based. But I don't know about dual boot GUI on the Chromebook Plus. And really, why would you want to? Yeah. Hello, Yugi. Steve says, I secretly love Manjaro. I can never drink enough wine, Steve, to love Manjaro. Love you too, buddy. Salute. I love this song by my dad, Symphony of Love. Sorry, I just had to crank it up a bit. Such a beautiful song. Symphony of Love. Anyway, yeah, I tried Manjaro a long time ago. Full install did not work for me. But I tried. I try to be fair. I call it as I see it. If something is great, I'll say it is. If it sucks, I'll say it sucks. Just, I'm an equal opportunity basher. No matter what operating system I use, if you want to look at it that way. Anyway. By the way, thank you for all of you guys popping in tonight. The last minute is greatly appreciated. But tonight I'm live from Linux Mint, of course. I was talking cars before. I think the next car I might look into for my son is a Toyota RAV4, a used one. One of my friends who runs a family-owned business downtown cars, he's not sure what year it is. He should have it by Friday. We'll probably take a look at that one and trade in the Lexus that I was hoping to keep past 250,000 miles, but vandalism cut that short, and I'm very ticked off. Yugi, you're still running Linux Mint. Very good. Excellent. Steve, RAV4s are a good vehicle. I see quite a few around here. I actually see quite a few Toyotas around here. But yeah, RAV4 is an excellent vehicle. That's why I'm looking into that one. And they're pretty good on gas from what I have seen. So the last distro that I tested, what was it? The latest Ubuntu. It looked good. I mean, it's as they all do, but the thrill is gone. I think I titled that video. There's just nothing there to wow me anymore. Now the next Ubuntu coming out, eventually that'll be immutable. We'll see if that one can compete with the Chromebooks, which is an immutable system. Now that one thrills me. If they can get that right, I might go back to Ubuntu. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I don't use Ubuntu anymore, period. I use Ubuntu based, like Linux Mint and Zorn, which I thoroughly enjoy, but Ubuntu itself just doesn't thrill me anymore. I think the last great Ubuntu was back in 2016, I believe, with the Unity desktop. No longer being officially made, and that is kind of disappointing. Anyway, long live Linux Mint, right? And he talks about a distro to run on ARM so we can rice a new Windows PC. That I have no clue. It's, oh, Anarita, how are you? My dear friend, Anarita, how are you? She says, Toss, you are becoming the Ben in terms of switching OS one day. Is Ubuntu the best? Is that Ubuntu the golden then? I'm drinking too much wine, but no. How are you, my dear? Welcome to the live stream. I really haven't switched that much. I've always dual booted as long as I can remember between different forms of Linux and Windows. So I did reply to your comment, by the way. So I use Windows maybe, I don't know, 20% of the time. It's there as a backup. Ubuntu back then was golden, but just not anymore. It just, yeah, the GNOME desktop, it just sucks. Unless it's modified, let's just call it for what it is. Anyway, Chromebooks, yeah, Chromebooks are good for people who have used. Here's my thing about a Chromebook, okay? For people who have tried installing Linux in the past and said Linux sucks, that's not fair. Try a Chromebook first, and then tell me what you think. So to anybody out there who tried Linux, it's too hard, try a Chromebook. It's based on Linux. Tell me what you think. If you still say it sucks, well then Linux is not for you. It's that simple. But that's my opinion. Anna says, Toss, you make me bananas. Oh, I love you too, dear. Luis, I hope I say this right. Luis, I took Spanish in school. Luis Rejas Aluralde. I hope I say that right, my friend. Welcome. I always have 2 instances of Linux dual boot because I play around so much that if I break one, you can still work with the other. Yeah, that's. I don't tinker as much. After almost 20 years of doing Linux, I've settled with, my Chromebook, my Linux Mint, and sometimes I'll tinker with others such as Ubuntu and Zorin OS. But for tonight, it's Linux Mint live. Adarita, the true politician, she says Windows sucks and so does Ubuntu and Chromebook. Well, I guess you don't use those at all, do you? Linux is golden for you. Well, it's for the most part it's been golden for me too, my dear. But yeah, Rossi, can anyone get away with Chromebook for college? Absolutely. Debian for you, Luis. All is your main thing, by the way. Okay, great. Yeah, no, Debian stable, probably one of the best out there. Absolutely. For you, and it's Linux all the way. Hey, I'm cool with that. Yeah. So you also like Linux Mint and Linux MX Linux. Okay. I tested MX Linux on older ThinkPads. By the way, ThinkPads are great for installing Linux-based systems. It's just a perfect marriage. For whatever reason, the hardware and the software matches up pretty good. But yeah, MX also supports 32-bit, by the way, still, which is hard to find, understandably. The Chromebooks, I know you don't like them, Anarina, but they continue to evolve. The Chromebooks Plus and all the newer Chromebooks give you 10 years of support, which is pretty good. Oh, thank you for asking, Anarita. She says, what's new? Family's good. My dad came to visit from Italy, from Rome. It was late April. Doing okay. Everybody's fine. Mama's fine. She's due for doctor checkups. I have to take her. In fact, tomorrow I got to call the doctor. Thank you for reminding me, Anna. So that's what's going on with that. The right OS for the job, it depends on the use. Yes, Steve. Anna, you saw the video. You love it. Oh, was it the interview with my dad? Yeah, that's my dad is a very, very unique story. From farmer to an actor on The Godfather's movies. Amazing story. Those of you who haven't seen my dad's video, you really should. Amazing story. And I'm hoping we can finally find a distributor for his film before he passes on. He's 87 years old. God bless. He's in great shape for his age. The pandemic kind of screwed things up for that, with what we were trying to do. But anyway, I won't go to the whole thing. Some of you know about my dad's movie that we've been trying to sell. But anyway, he looks so young with energy. Even my wife said I can borrow some of his energy. Yeah, it's yeah, I think his family keeps him going. The fact that he got rave reviews and private screenings overseas for his movie keeps him going, because he almost died making the movie, but it was a passion project. So that's, I wish I had better updates as far as the movie goes. Maybe one of these nights I'll talk more about the movie in a live stream. It's an amazing story about a concentration camp that saved thousands of Jews. That's an untold Hollywood story. There aren't too many Hollywood stories that hasn't been told before, Anna. But my dad has the story that has not been told before. It's like hitting the lottery. Now we just got to find a buyer. Anyway, thank you for the comment, Anna Rita. But yeah. I love my wine. Luis says, you talk so much about Chrome OS that I'll have to try it. Yeah. I believe the free download is Chrome OS Flex. But the Chromebooks themselves are really excellent pieces of machinery. Somebody on Chromebook called them unappreciated masterpieces, and that's pretty much it as far as a description. But Anna Rita, yes, you should come visit. Yes, when my dad sells this movie, I'll come visit you. And I think you're in Canada. I'll come visit you. How does that sound? We'll do a live show from Anna Rita's house. I talk about Chrome OS until I'm blue in the face. Well, it just works. Look, it's the Linux gold standard. It does not. It just. What can I say? It just works. Yes, the wife will bake coffee and will bake cake and coffee. Yes, my dad loves his coffee. It's got to be Italian coffee, right, Anna? Yes, we'll come visit. I know you're teasing. I know. Anyway, but yeah, it was a pleasure chatting with my dad, and you know, he's doing well. He's back at his. He has some farmland there in Italy that he says when he goes to the farmland up in the mountains, he feels better there, breathes easier there. Well, of course, it's clean air. It's pure air from the ocean, so no factories. So anyway, yeah. For those of you who want to hear my dad's music, give me a second. I'll post a link here in the chat. You can sample some of his tunes. Give me a second here. If you'd like to check out my dad's tunes, there's the link there in the show notes, salvatorpate.bandcamp.com. You can sample all of the tunes for free. 2 of the tunes are from his movie, little sneak peek. It's the one with the cross and the star with the red background. That's actually from the movie. And if you buy any tunes, the money goes right back into the channel to pay for all of this, the Comcast bill and all of that. So that's greatly appreciated. But you can sample all the tunes for free. Yeah, that's fine. I'll stick around a little bit longer, Anna. Check out the Oh Hey I'm Screwed song. That is translated with American lyrics. My dad sings on that song. It's very funny. It was a song that I was not expecting from his usual romantic stuff. Very funny. And there's the link for that one song. Anyway. So that's what's going on for this evening. If you missed any of this, you can play it back. But these were the topics. I won't repeat everything. I talked a little bit about American cars, Windows 11, iPhone versus Google, Samsung support, Linux Mint, and the upcoming movie Alien Romulus. Those were the topics for this evening. Rossi asked, did I mention anything about the Chromebook Plus event? No, I just, right before I came on, I briefly looked at the news feed about it, but I have not looked into it, so I don't want to talk much about something I didn't do any homework on. New features and hardware appeal. Yeah, it's the Chromebooks Plus are excellent machines starting, I think they're between what, $300 and $400, right? If I am not mistaken, but yeah, no, I saw it briefly, but I didn't want to talk too much about it, except to say Chromebooks Plus are a good deal. Luis asked, do I speak Italian? Yes, I don't speak fluent Italian. Sì, parlo italiano. Un po' di italiano. A little bit of Italian. Hi, Ben. How are you? Welcome. I remember years ago in college. Hang on one second and make sure the stream looks good. I'm assuming there's no issues with the stream, like, right? I'm all in the green here, so the audio video is okay. All right. What was I gonna say? Years ago in college, I took a year of Italian, and I remember my Italian professor saying, you know, Italians think differently. Yeah, you know, we all have to work for a living, pay the bills, be an adult. But he said, if you can't sit down and have a cup of coffee with a friend, it's not worth it. So, yeah. Ah, and you're backing up your data to a new drive. Other one is making noises. That's not good. Yeah, you can never have enough backups. Never have enough backups, that's for sure. Ben, you got an Asus F15 gaming laptop, okay? Yes, backups are fairly cheap now, Anna Rita. That is true. $50 for 2 terabyte Western Digital. Okay, very nice. I have a better accent in Spanish than Italian. Hey, you know, Luis, you're not so tough, man. You know, see what I'm saying, man? I took actually 3 years of Spanish too. I don't remember all of it. Of course, I do my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's good to be here. I need more power. Anyway, I also speak a little bit in New York, Louise. You know, a lot of friends there. So when I was a kid, I had a lot of Spanish friends, Italian friends. You know, we drink a lot of freaking coffee. You know, see what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, $50 for 2 terabyte. That's not a bad deal there, Hannah. I hope it lasts. Yeah. It's hard, possible to find a good or decent distro for the said laptop. May just have to put Windows 11 back on it. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, man. ThinkPads and Linux work pretty good there, Ben. I don't know. I guess Luis likes my joke. Hey, Arnold, what do you think about Chromebooks? Oh, they're fantastic. They got power. Thank you, Arnold. Arnold never gets old. If you haven't read, check out his TV series. I think it's on Netflix. It's called Fubar. Really funny. He plays a retired spy who comes out of retirement. And that's all I'm going to say. Oh, Anna Rita also has an F-15 gaming laptop. Interesting. You started to watch that show, did not like it? Really? Oh, I thought it was hilarious. You kind of have to wait till it kicks in when he realizes about his daughter. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but I liked it. Yeah, I liked it enough. I'm waiting for the next season. I think they start filming the next season. They did now that the writer's strike is over, but it's different for Arnold. Yeah. Exactly. Their relationship is odd and funny. That's the good part. She's the girl, Anna. She's the girl in Top Gun Maverick. She's the female jet fighter pilot. I can't think of her name, but I believe that's the same actress. So yeah. I watch very specific shows. I have Comcast here, so I use the on-demand voice feature to plug into certain programs. I like History Channel, stuff like that. I like watching William Shatner on The Unexplained. Pretty good show. You have 3 laptops, okay, and 2 streaming players. And wife said no more as if they come, one has to go. Oh, okay. Yes, Ancient Aliens. Yes, I watched that too. It's been around. Yes, season 20 is very good. Yeah, it's been around. Has it been around that long? I guess it has been. Wow. Okay. Yep. We'll watch that. Other things too. There's another cool show. I believe it's called The Proof Is Out There. And History's Greatest Mysteries is also another with hosted by Lawrence Fishburne. Anyway. Luis, thank you for stopping by. You also stay safe. And yeah, thank you. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, my friend. All right, I'll stick around for a little bit longer. My glass of wine is done. I don't think I'll have another one. Long day today, but I'll stick around just for a little bit longer. Again, for those of you who missed the beginning of this, you can watch this in its entirety. The beginning. And I do post some of these without shortened versions without the ads on the Patreon page too. So you can download that if you want to. Yeah, I kind of got the hint, Anarita, that Steve likes his OBS. I kind of got the hint. Yes. That is correct. Yep. That's what I'm using now. It just works. Yeah. It works great for both Linux and Windows. So, yeah. I guess the real problem now, Anna, is security and privacy in in modern cars, because it saves everything. That seems like it's the more scarier part of technology. It seems, yeah, from what I've read. Especially when you connect your phone to the car through Android Auto or the Apple CarPlay. Yeah. It just never ends, does it? When your car dies, you're going to look for a dummy one. Yeah. I understand. They look slick, but you got to be careful. I think there's a way, like if you buy, it's like say you had a modern car within the last, I don't know, 10 years and you trade it in. I think there's a way to erase everything, if I am not mistaken. So your information isn't stored in there. So, yeah. It's almost like trading in or selling your old computer, but you got to keep the hard drive or wipe the hard drive. So, yeah. You buy a used car for 8,000 and be happy. Okay, yeah, whatever works. Just don't buy American. That's not good. Yep, point A to point B. Mm-hmm. All right, let's give this, let's say 10 more minutes, see if anybody else jumps in, and then we'll wrap it up for this evening. I think the wine will help me sleep better tonight. The AI tech is definitely interesting, Anna. I suppose just like any other tool, it can be both good and not so good. Right? I'll just leave it there. But yeah. I guess the AI generated images of people and things is that's scary. We really are coming into a Terminator world, where computers are taking over. Now that part does, yeah, that is scary. They will they will take over, but you will be dead by then, having a martini with God, if he or she exists. So that's not a bad ending, right? All right, let's give this a 5-minute warning, then we'll wrap it up. If anybody has jumped in the chat here, wants to say hello, have a question, go ahead and ask, and we'll wrap it up here shortly, and I will call it an evening. I think technology over the years has changed the family dynamic, Anna. You know, it's yeah, I got mixed feelings about that. I don't know. I have a friend of mine in Florida. She's a psychologist, and it's not all good. Maybe I'll have her on the show one of these nights and she can talk about it. But yeah, it's not all good. Yeah, tech is basically a tool like a hammer. It can be used for construction or destruction, right? All right, so we're going to end this with the song by my dad. It's called God Guide Us, and may God guide us all.
Sei sempre tu, Santa Regina della luce in questa terra. Io ti amo, io ti amo. Io non ti vedo, ma lo so che sei sempre qui con me. Io ti amo, io ti amo. Guidaci in questa lunga strada che non so dove andare senza te. Guidaci in questo grande mondo che è difficile seguire
I also care about ports when buying a system, yes. Well, I suppose that song is the perfect way to end the evening. That's a song written and composed by my dad, sung by the Italian tenor Giuseppe Morone. Dio guidaci tu, Italian, of course, translated God guide us, and a beautiful song. I hope one day soon you guys will get to see this my dad's movie. It's what did one person said? This movie represents the hope for humanity, and amen to that. Amen to that. So we'll wrap it up here. Anarita and everybody else, thank you so much for stopping by. Always a pleasure connecting with you guys. So you guys know how to reach me. Again, if you missed any of this, you can replay it. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. And yeah, Anarita, thank you again. Hope things are good up there in Canada. So take care, all my friends, and I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao, and may God guide us all. Take care.